So welcome everyone, we are on the edges of Chinatown. We're going to head down to Chinatown in just a second. These two laneways used to be the most dangerous laneways in all of Melbourne. In the 1860s, the police actually did a report into this area and they used the word evil 43 times. The highest density of prostitution dens, homeless dens, gambling dens and opium dens. Lots and lots of opium. Yeah, there was a lot of opium brought here to Australia by the Chinese people, and yes, the Australians like to blame the Chinese for the opium epidemic, but let's be honest, the Australians were the ones smoking the opium. None of the police officers wanted to come down here, so it made sense to hire a Chinese police officer. Now his name was Fuxing. Now Fuxing came to Australia here in the 1850s for the gold rush. Now, like a lot of other Chinese people, came over from South Australia and walked the many hundreds of kilometres across Victoria to make their way to Bendigo and, well, look for gold. And Fuxing was basically I wouldn't say community manager, he was a helper. He was a helper for the community, right? He helped the Chinese community and he helped communicate. His English was quite good, and so he was able to talk to the local police officers and to the Chinese community and help them out there. So it was only a natural progression to offer him a job, come down here to Melbourne and work as a detective. Now he was hired as a detective third class, actually lived on Little Bourke Street, a bit further down, closer to Swanston Street, lived in a little apartment, and whenever there was a problem in Chinatown, they'd say, send Fuxing. We don't want to deal with it, just send Fuxing. And he'd walk around the area and he'd talk to the people. Often he would send the police bills for his work, £5 for interrogation work. It wasn't for interrogation, it was for his gambling and opium addictions. But the police knew about this and they didn't really mind because they believed back then, and well, I mean, it depends who you ask, they also believe today, that if you want to know about the crime, you want to be able to protect people from the crime, you want to be a little bit involved in the crime. Fuxing, he worked here for many years here in this end of town. He was never promoted any higher than a detective third class. Eventually, his opium addiction and his gambling addiction got the better of him, and he was demoted. He was no longer able to work as a detective. He actually worked as a translator for the police department. Later on, he retired, and he passed away in the 1890s. And pretty much with the passing away of Fuxing, no one was brave enough to come here into Chinatown, and it fell into disarray once again. But for a long period of time, the only person that was brave enough to come down here was Fuxing. Let's head down through the dodgiest laneway in Melbourne.